Hi, welcome to a new video dedicated to a new compact brushless racer from Eachine. This is the Jumper X73S, and this model comes either with the Philips-Sky D8 built-in receiver or DSM-2, and assume also to be DSM-X. So this model comes after the first brushed edition, the X73, and if you already saw my review, for me it was a real fiasco, and mainly because there is a brownout in terms of the voltage regulator part, okay, and after 30-second maximum the receiver was not more powered, and the quadcopter was falling like a stone, so a real shame and a drawback. With this model, they change a lot of things, and now they upgrade to a brushless system. Okay, so let's discover the content of the box, and of course check that this brownout is at least solved. Let's go. Okay, the content is pretty simple. You have the same tiny FGD eyes to serial converter like the former X73. Okay, so let's check that. It's exactly the same module you can find here. Okay, and let's compare, if you want, both system, both machine, between the brush system to the brushless. Okay, so we have now prop cards, but not installed on the machine, and you will see it's a little bit tricky to attach because you will require a little bit of maintenance. And finally here the X73S Jumper. So a lot of similarities with the former edition. Okay, you can recognize exactly the same type of camera. It's a 600 TVL camera with a good light sensitivity, announced to be a 0.5 lux. Okay, on the rear side you have a 6-position dip switch, okay, and there is no instruction manual coming with the X73S, so please check the Banggood web pages to check how to select the dip switch. Okay, and I will overlay also on this screen how to use it, but both the 5.8 GHz here got a micro FL connector as well as the 2.4 GHz here. Okay, so you can easily replace it, for example the FPV part with a cloverleaf antenna if you prefer. So as I said, a lot of similarities. Series, for example, you can find more or less the same battery bay, except now we have these 4 extra plastic pads, okay, playing the role of landing gears. So let's come now to the main introduction here. So brushless motors here, and look that they are installed on the bottom side, so it's kind of proprietary model, at least in adaptation. And there are some 1103 model spinning at 10,000 kV, so pretty fast, and install on them and not tight, no screws, just pressed on them. You have these blade props, and be aware, first warning, if you press too much on them, the props will hit the other fat compound, okay, so it can maybe damage. Here you have a small capacity, or if they are not enough pressed, they can pop off. So you have a threshold, a trade-off, okay, to let your prop spin freely, okay, and without any ejections. In the box, no spare props. What a pity. And you will see that they are in transparent plastic, and I found they are hard, so breakable. So definitively, if you are interested by such model, please order some spare props immediately, because you will probably damage them very easily. The shaft of this 1103 motors is 1.5 millimeters, so you can probably find some alternative props. I will give some dimension at least Okay, this model of props, they are exactly 50 millimeters. Okay, so maybe some 55 millimeters could be installed, but not so sure. So I will keep my first initial thoughts. It's only 50 millimeters props with 1.5 millimeters of shaft section. Like the former X73, it's known that the camera FPV is installed into a seat, okay, locked with this plastic nylon bolt, okay, and axle, and it's known that versus time after a crash, this one can pop or some gun can be introduced and now can be removed very easily. So you probably need to glue the installation, and it was assumed to offer a positive angle, but you know, the rear side of the camera mount is blocking, limiting the action of the lens rotation. So it's definitely a good idea to probably glue the system. Be aware, when I received mine, my lens was out of focus. Just spin, okay, turn, I fasten it, and to make the focus, thanks to an FPV monitors and targeting the plus infinity object. Let's give away an idea of the weight of the system. And when you carry on the hand, it's first of all pretty small and it's pretty light. So without battery is 31 gram, and if I compare to the original brush version, is not so much more heavy. Okay, something like 4 gram more heavy. Even this one got the prop guards, so let's give an indication with the prop guards. Okay, so with the prop guards you reach 33.3 grams, so 5 grams more. You have to know that the ESC are directly construct on the upper side of the PCB. So there are some DP3, okay, and good news, they are seen in Bellelli suite or configurator, and they can be upgraded directly through the pass-through software solution. That's great. Here you can find all the chip controlling the ESC and the FET installed on each arm. So no carbon structure, it's a large PCB, and the big open question, how durable will be this frame structure versus crash? Seems to be okay, but versus time, even if an arm is not breaking, maybe some charts can be introduced, some small cuts, breaks can be introduced, killing, shorting circuits, and for example, damaging an ESC. Okay, so it's a big potential problem, and out of the box, the system is not shipped with the installed prop guard. And to do the job, you have first to remove the props. So you have to gently pop up the props. Okay, then you have to disassemble to remove the 4 screws holding the motors, then to install on the PCB the prop guard, then reinsert the screws and reattach repress the prop. So it's something like 10 minutes, 20 minutes of works. Okay, so it would deserve, okay, to especially if you fly indoors, it's strongly advised, but the prop guard seems not so strong, so well, I don't think it will protect a long time your props. And I remind, this model are very hard, very breakable. Okay, so it's a drawback in my point of view. Let's discover a little bit the electronic. You have on top here, you have the main receiver. Mine is a FearSky G8, and I will show, of course, the binding procedure. It's classic with any FearSky. You have to keep press the button while powering the battery and bind in D8 mode, and you will see the firmware of the receiver is graded to support telemetry. That's great because there is no bother. Okay, so another drawback, but it's an A32 board. Okay, I forgot to mention this important element. It's an A32 board, no SP Racing F3 board, so it's a little bit more tricky to install a bother. Okay, so I propose two things. First of all, thanks to the telemetry information, you can a little bit localize your machine thanks to the RSSI feedback on your radio. That's a first thing. And what you can do in Bell suite or Bell configurator, you can decrease the delay time in the beacon to 1 minute. It means that after 1 minute of inactivity, the ESC will start to sound, to beep a bit. It's not so loud. So we will work in the proximity VT of maybe 3 or 5 meter maximum. Okay, but at least it's an indication, okay, to localize your machine. So now let's discover the other button. Here you have another button on the main PCB is to flash a new version if you are to chart the boot pad, if you break or fail to load a new Betaflight version, because on this A32 Betaflight 301 is pre-installed with the default setting I will show in a few instants. That's already a good point, and the default settings are already not bad at all. Okay, so on the left side, what you will find the port to connect your USB device to control everything under Betaflight. In terms of battery, no battery is provided, so I proposed two type of model, 400 milliamps power one cellular model. Don't be wrong, the ESC are only 3.5 ampere. I had peak announced to be 4, so no 2S battery can be installed. So a first model you can install is this 400 model, okay, with micro LED connector, and this model weighs 12.7 gram, and the total weight of this machine will be around 43.8 gram, which is not bad, pretty light. And another type you can insert is a 600, the same battery that all the last Eachine model, for example, and now the total weight will be around 47 grams. And you can see you can really nicely insert the battery into the compartment, no problem. So as you can see, the plastic here pad helps play the role of landing gears. You will have to tight a little bit the micro LED connector, okay, when you will insert it, and no problem at all. Okay, so let's now before to check the binding procedure, just one word about the 2.4 GHz linear antenna. I propose to install the linear like this, okay, pass through the FPV cable, but be aware I found out of the box my antenna was a little bit bent like this, and be aware to not break it very easily, or if your range is a little bit limited, is coming from this. So one solution is to probably to strip a bit the wire to reduce the 2.4 GHz antenna and to fix it and to repair it. You have to cut 3.2 centimeters to fix the antenna. So now let's check the binding procedure and check the telemetry working information. Okay, like most of FieldSky receiver, you have to prepare first your radio to bound FieldSky protocol in D8 mode. Okay, so I selected, I'm ready to bind, and the trick is to press the binding button, which is localized here. Okay, so you can do it with your hand. Why connecting the battery? So it's a little bit tricky, but you can do it with one hand. Okay, or you can do the inverse, start to pre-insert without connecting fully. Okay, just start to insert, press, and then continue to to press like this, and now I got the bind button pressed, and now I will press the bind button here. Okay, and you should have the green LED stopping or flashing, okay, when it's down, and it means that it's bound. So let's check that. I will stop everything. Wheel power, check the information, and you got a solid green light here. Okay, so let's check the telemetry information. Yeah, you will see that I'm receiving the signal. Okay, it's pretty good. So the telemetry information is working. That's great. So it can be very useful to localize your machine. Okay, because if you are moving away your machine, you will see that your SSI will increase, or the dBm will increase, and as soon as this value is closer to 0, you mean you are close to your machine. One word about the light. You have some very pretty light, very light effect, thanks to the transparent props. That's pretty good for night flight. Very beautiful, I found. So now let's check the default Betaflight configuration. Okay, I will probably apply some just small modification. Okay, and then show also that in Belly flight that this firmware can be flashed or control, and to decrease to 1 minute the beacon delay. You can hear now they are beeping. Okay, can help to find your model in lost herb. Okay, grass can be useful. Okay, first outdoors quick demo of the Eachine X73S. So please, it's strongly advised to install some hot glue on the 5.8 GHz linear antenna and of course on the 2.4 GHz one. Install the 2.4 GHz antenna like this, blocked by the FPV mainly the wires, and be sure that no props is blocked by any fed campans or the main lead wires don't have to block any motors on the bottom side, and it's possible to take off completely horizontally, okay, on this plastic pad. So I will fly first in lost condition. It's a little bit windy today, and I will record the FPV signal, okay, set to the E1 frequency in pale configurations. Okay, let's go. Okay, so power the system. Okay, beautiful lights, and try to install it vertically. Okay, it's bound. You have a solid LEDs here, and I'm receiving the signal. Press recording. Yes, and let's start to take off. Let's see. Okay, nice. Little bit some wobble, but not bad. Let's see the punch. Well, not bad. Let's engage more faster rate. So the question is, this machine brushless system more powerful than the brush system? Something a little bit more powerful than the 90 for sure. It should be a little bit similar to the 95, maybe a little bit more powerful. Should be compatible to with some flips and so on. So that's great, you have some telemetry working. Look, the LEDs, beautiful. Yeah, not bad. You can have precise flight, maybe some PID may be adjusted, but nothing catastrophic. Some little wobble is so small that probably increase the D values, okay, of pitch and roll, and it will be perfect. But it's flying beautifully. Yes, it's turning fast, no problem, no real instability, that's great. Yeah. Okay, I got my radio beeping, maybe I got, yes, I've got a low voltage on my radio. Okay, so I will land now, but it's quite stable. And these are great.